hilarious Alex Borstein. He's the Emmy-nominated creator of Robot Chicken and the newly launched Stupid Monkey, the voice of Chris Griffin, Seth Green. He's the star of Rules of Engagement and plays Joe Swanson, Patrick Warburton. Ready to get this panel started?
Let's light this candle!
Next up, the voice of Cleveland, Herbert and Consuela. He's a creator of The Cleveland Show and responsible for naming the town Stool Bend. The most fecal-obsessed man in Hollywood, Mike Henry. Hey, I heard rumors that something happened to Amy Winehouse. Is she still alive?
That's a really poor taste, Mark.
But I say no, no, no.
And finally, he's got an album coming out in September called Music is Better Than Words, and a feature film coming out next July. He was not scheduled to be here, but he's the man you're really here to see. Seth MacFarlane.
You didn't ask anybody whether or not to do that last joke, did you? Oh my God.
All right, well, before we get questions from the audience, do you guys want to mention some upcoming stories? Hey, Steve, you want to get started off?
Sorry, we're just still reeling from that Amy Winehouse comment.
I just learned that right this second. What did you ask me?
Do you have any upcoming stories you want to...
Oh, yeah. We got a lot of great episodes. Well, some of them were previewed in the clips. And you mentioned a couple of them, but I'll mention this one just because I happen to write it. But this season, Peter befriends a dolphin who is voiced by Ricky Gervais. And we're thrilled to have him. We actually, I'll just mention real quickly, we were lucky enough to have a couple of other really great guest stars coming up this season, including Cate Blanchett, Ryan Reynolds. We got a big Ryan Reynolds episode. Mark Harmon, Anna Kendrick for you Twilight people out there. I think Twilight and Family Guy are sort of mutually exclusive. On the Venn diagram, there would be no intersection there, maybe. So yeah, there's that.
Cool. I'll mention we have an episode coming up where Stewie and Brian travel back in time to the pilot episode. And it's pretty odd seeing them, the new characters, in the world of that terrible first season animation.
We went back and looked at the pilot and thought, my God, this really just looks like shit. And we thought, wouldn't it be funny to take our characters now and put them back in the pilot? But it's very all good things for you Star Trek fans.
We're also doing another viewer mail episode. It's been many seasons since we did one, but we decided to do another viewer mail episode, and that's going to be really exciting and fun.
No, please, hold your applause.
They didn't clap.
Everybody's way more tired.
They didn't clap at all for Cate Blanchett. Did you know? She's such a chameleon, isn't she?
Yeah.
I barely Alex.
In a Chris episode, somebody tries to kill Chris. Mike,
No, please don't.
Are you stoned, Mark?
I am.
That's great.
Mike, Consuela, isn't there a Consuela? Stewie runs away from home and goes to live with Consuela. Remember that one? Remember recording that one, Mike?
I don't know.
That's all I got. I have another show too, though.
There's an episode where Joe arrests Peter and Quagmire for burning down Mort's Deli. Mort's Pharmacy. Oh, sorry. It's great because then Quagmire gets raped in prison by Peter. That's not. The first part was true, but the second part would be pretty hot or gross. He does arrest.
All right, if that's it, we can get to questions. Do we have people?
Lois is gonna kidnap someone. That happens in an episode. She kidnaps a kid on purpose.
I see,
All right,
I
we
see
have a
a person
question.
lined up with a question,
There's
Mike.
a surfer dude with a question.
Do that again. That was cool.
That's the best Matthew.
You're like an Herbal Essence commercial.
All right, what do we got?
Hey, my name's Grayson Amthor, and first I want to say 2 comments to Seth Green. My sister loves you, and some random ticket lady told me to say she loves you too.
Medicinal marijuana at any age. San Diego.
This is like the Comic-Con Cupid. Thanks, man.
I have a question too.
Oh,
Can I
good.
ask
Okay.
that?
I'm sure we've got plenty of time.
Thank God.
Sorry. Will we ever see Bertram again?
You will. Well, wait a minute. Did that episode air yet?
It did.
It did.
Yes, it did.
Then I would say no. No, he's dead. He's dead.
He did.
Unless, of course, you watch the episode again on DVD. Right?
And it's like resurrection.
I mean, it's an animated series, so really you can do whatever the hell you want. I mean, if we decide he'll be back, then I'm sure we'll find a way. But no, as our plan was that that character has kind of run its course, and let's give him a fiery send off.
You look very sad about that. Next question.
Next question.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Tina. My question is, how come in some episodes only Brian can hear Stewie, but then in other episodes, other people can hear him, and I get a little bit too 420 to figure it out.
I have a question. Does the visor serve any purpose in that?
Are you about to enter the Lambda 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 talent show?
I thought in that position it collected the sun.
It's
Try to
actually
be different.
it's a rain catcher.
We should
It's a solar wind
Yeah,
sail.
Shall we answer his question?
I sort of look at it like, I don't know, you remember the old Bugs Bunny cartoons when when he was chasing the Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote never said a word, but then in those other episodes where he was like, hunting the sheep with that dog and they would punch in their cards every day, he spoke. It's really whatever was funny in the moment.
But again, we always have this debate in the writers' room and now on stage here. But there is some set of rules about it. Brian obviously understands them. We go out of our way to make sure that Lois or Peter doesn't. Sometimes if he's outside the house, strangers that we're going to see for one episode and maybe not come back to, we'll make the allowance.
Within the family, it's like we made sort of a leap with Chris this year. That all right, well, Chris can. He can interact with Chris in a real way. He can't really interact with Meg or Peter or Lois because the idea is that they're old enough that there is a separation. Once you get out of the house, as Steve says, it really depends on the story. If it's funnier for the story that there be a language barrier, great. If it's better for somebody to understand him, so there can be interaction, that's great too. And there is room for messing with the rules if it suits the comedy.
All right, next question.
Hey, I was curious how much of your original script ends up getting cut by the censors? And what are some jokes that you really fought for that didn't make it?
You know, the censors actually are very much, I don't want to say they're allies because that'll get them in trouble with the FCC, but they're very objective, and they are conscious of the line between protecting the company so they don't get fined by an FCC gone mad and driven to bankruptcy, and at the same time recognizing that the show's edginess is one of the things that makes people want to watch it. So they have a really tough job, and I will say this for the Broadcast Standards Department, which is the fancy name for censors, that they are true fans of the show, and they are a big part of why the show remains, we hope, edgy. You know, they're at the front lines fighting for us, and they really do care. So it's really about whether they think they're going to get fined or not. And you know, it's generally shit jokes and sex jokes that are problematic. Within the confines of the company, you know, religion is always a battle.
I'm sorry, Seth, can we stop for a moment and
Sure.
go back? There is a sign language interpreter. Can you say shit again? Because I want to see.
Oh, wow. This panel just got a lot more anal.
Really excited.
How do you say bullshit?
There you go.
Speaking of jokes that we were.
Regarding what you're saying, though, I think our Standards and Practices Department is very much an ally. We work very closely with them, and I think they try to help us make the show
Hang on, Steve.
what it can be.
There's a Cunnilingus episode coming out.
Thank you, Seth.
You were a trooper.
I remember an episode where we had an ongoing fight with Standards where Peter had been eating nickels for an act, and he went to the bathroom, and we just wanted to do the sound of nickels hitting porcelain. Did that ever air?
It did air. That gag did not. It was in the script. It said it sounds like a slot machine.
It sounds like a slot machine. Yeah.
Paying out, but they didn't let us do that. So, but just yesterday, just as use an example, and you know, they'll send us notes and say, you know, please address this joke or find a different wording for this, and you know, you get so immune to it that you forget what you're dealing with. And just yesterday, I was in the writers' room and I was going through the notes, and I said to our writer's assistant, okay, open up episode 904. Can you look for a tranny, and then look for a purple head. And then look for, and then the last one was dirty hobo penis. At each of those points, we had to evaluate, you know, which ones we wanted to fight for and which one we could reword.
And this is an Eagle Scout.
Yeah, this is my job now.
But there are no more difficult fights than the ones for hobo penis.
Which leads us to our.
Hobo
There's
penis.
another.
Big, filthy, floppy hobo penis.
Alex just pointed this out to me. It says, welcome to Comic-Con. Please be aware that many members of your audience may be under 18 years of age. Thank you very much.
Just take a moment to apologize to all the children in the audience. We're very sorry.
Speaking of which, look who has a question.
Oh, this young man.
It's better that you learn it here than in the schoolyard. What's your question?
Is there ever going to be a Family Guy movie?
I've been saying this for years, and I'm sure people will stop believing me. Yes, there will be a Family Guy movie. We've actually had meetings about it, which makes it real. And we know what it's going to be. We just haven't really had the time to get to it. I mean, the Simpsons, it took them 20 years to make their movie because it's such a gigantic job to just do a series each week. You just can't spare the staff and the manpower. And only after 20 years did they figure out a way to do it without the show suffering. So we're working on it. LOL. Why does your shirt say LOL? What is it you want us to know?
This is actually Seth Green's microphone. A little too low for me.
Really? Wait a second. Hold on. Do you think I'm short?
Hey Seth, did you say what's up to your girl for me?
Is this what's happening? Did Jeffrey Ross come to Comic-Con this year? I loved your set at the Laugh Factory.
Anyways, my real question is.
I'll let Long talk.
My real question is the rumors true that the writers of Family Guy are actually manatees?
Are the rumors true? Is the rumors
Baba Booey,
true?
Baba Booey.
It looks like you're finished, doesn't it? Next in line, what's your question?
Yes. Is there going to be a Stewie and Chris episode? Another Stewie and Chris episode?
You have a very sexy accent.
Another Stewie and Chris episode. I imagine there will be. In fact, there may be one coming up. Steve?
I don't know that we have one for this season, but we potentially have one in the works for the following season. Did you like that Stewie and Chris episode? All right, cool. See, this helps. Now we know what to do more
It's good
of.
to have feedback.
More Stewie songs, is that what you're saying? All right.
What's that Bryan Adams song? How's that go?
I'm drawing a complete blank.
Everything I do it for you.
Wait, we've switched translators.
Oh boy.
I wonder we're out of the business.
Let's see what his hobo penis looks like. It was bigger.
It's different.
It's bigger.
It had kind of a flip-floppy action. Like a speedometer.
There's a really funny episode coming up about a sign language interpreter taking his top off.
That's just for that group in the front there.
All right, we have a patiently waiting. What's your question?
Well, actually, I am just informing that we only have time for one more question.
But there's two more people.
Oh. What if they ask it together at the same time?
Actually, it's my mom.
What?
It's actually my mom. The next question.
Oh, well, you gotta let her mom.
Why are you trying to break up their family?
So we're actually from Rhode Island, and she's a piano teacher. I'm a huge fan of the random sketches and flashbacks, and I was wondering what each of your favorite one was.
In particular, a flashback? It has to be a flashback or just a bit?
Just like a bit, yeah.
My all-time favorite is the Ipecac moment. I think that's my favorite.
I actually love the original viewer mail where the family gets superpowers. And just because it was one of my favorite Chris moments where Chris goes to school and I don't remember the character's name. He's like, hey, do you remember last year? I don't even remember what the insult was, but it's like, Chris, yes, you remember when you called me Chris Gristle? And the character's like, kinda, I guess. Well, burn for it!
My favorite is Jaws Fire Island.
like Jaws too. There's an old one from way back that always is the first one that pops into my mind where Peter is watching Magnum P.I. and he's trying to feed Tom Selleck tomato soup. It's not even that funny, it's just stupid. But it makes me laugh.
There's a fun one, it's from an older episode where Alec Baldwin is breastfeeding his 3 brothers. And he tells Steven to drink up.
Mine is Gary, the no trash cougar.
You're really partial to things you wrote, aren't you?
Aren't we all?
The favorite one I got to do was,
You're never gonna catch me!
but the Epicac rules.
Well, I think that's all we have time for. So thank you so much for coming.
Let's get to the mom. Let's let the mom come up.
Love the show, and I love Mrs. Swan also in that too. I had a question about what inspired you to do comedy. Was there a family member or
Oh, good. This will be a quick answer.
just one person? How about we pick one person?
I don't know. I was just trying. Oh wow, lights just went out. I was just trying to be cool, I guess. I don't know. For me, it was this specific brand of comedy. I started out wanting to work for Disney, believe it or not. I wanted. Yeah, big laugh. You just have to kind of let this run its course. What the fuck was I saying? Oh, sorry. Shit. Right. The Simpsons came out and kind of reworked the whole landscape of what you could do for animation. It was suddenly not just for kids anymore. They kind of brought back the era of the original Flintstones, and it was kind of eye-opening. I was in college. I remember watching that show and thinking, "Wow, this is what I want to do." The hell with Disney. I want to do this kind of stuff, and just kept at it, and we just got really, really lucky.
All right. That's great. Well, thank you. We're going to clear our panel now, and American Dad is coming.